Like and subscribe.
Like. I hate my job. Why am I doing this? Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, as you can see, we have a guest celebrity.
Your manager.
My manager. So, what's your name?
I'm Vani.
And?
Like, what do you want to know about me?
Alright, so Vani.
What does the world want to know about me?
Who are you? Why should we
am
even
I?
trust you? Who are you? Why
I'm
are
a little
you
brown girl from Chicago.
Okay,
No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
true. We're both out-of-staters.
Yes, that's actually part of how we became friends.
Exactly, for
Yeah.
our out-of-state life. So
Yep.
I'm from Texas and she's from Illinois, like she said.
Yep.
But yeah, basically we're here to let you all know facts, knowledge, the truth about graduating in 3 years.
And just about college in general too.
Sure,
We've
and-
had our share of roller coaster experiences.
Exactly.
A lot of it we were living next to each other for.
And fun fact, I actually kind of became motivated to graduate in 3 years through a few of my friends who were graduating in 3 years, and she was one of the people.
Oh,
so
I didn't know that. Thank
yeah,
you.
I was like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it. So we're gonna get into this video, but first, let y'all know it's a mukbang, so we do have some pizza. What we eating, girl?
We eating Blaze pizza. So Annie is new to this. You've never had it, right?
I had it that one time they had like pie day. Like,
Oh yeah, I didn't get to go for that.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so I love Blaze
Wow.
pizza. I order it all the time. Would you like to share with the class? A beautiful large
Beautiful pepperoni,
pizza,
because I'm basic.
I got my favorite, which is the green stripe.
Ooh, it actually looks good.
It's veggies and peppers.
Veggies, right?
Yes.
So no meat on that?
No meat on that.
Wow.
Yes.
That healthy living.
But so today's video is just going to be a lot about like things that we've done or that we've heard other people do, or even things that we've like wish we did. Either going into high school, going into college, or even while we were in college. Both of us are graduating at the end of the semester. Class of 2020.
Hey.
Not what we expected to do when we were thinking about college at the start, but it happened. New decade, new degree. That's the way I'm saying
I like I say that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
it.
So we're gonna start with tips that you need to do to prepare yourself, either in high school or coming into college.
Yeah, and some of these things are also straight from like my advisor, Dr. Maldonado from Honors
shout out.
College. She's awesome. She is the coordinator for all the internships in our campus, but at the same time, she's also my academic advisor. And a lot of what I've learned about like, well, first of all, what admissions departments in general, and also especially like, we're both pre-med, so what med school admissions departments look for. A lot of what I've learned is through her.
That's good.
And even just academic advice in general. She's given me some really good advice over the past couple of years, so
Want to share?
share all of it.
I feel like a lot of counselors in high school might not really, what they say might not apply to every college you're trying to like that you're looking at and stuff like that. So you have to make sure you start your research early. And one of our biggest things is if you're trying to graduate in 3 years, you definitely need credit coming in, because I've never seen a case where someone started from like 0 credits and finished everything in 3 years.
Oh, absolutely.
That is crazy.
It's impossible to do that. So a lot of people that graduate or that want to graduate in 3 years, even if they have like 30 credits, sometimes it's still hard to do it just because some of those credits, depending on the university, don't get transferred over. So going back to our original discussion, a lot of what we've learned is from professors, advisors, other students, our own experiences, all that. So high school. When you're in high school, 99% of the country, if you live in the United States, a lot of high schools offer either the AP, which is Advanced Placement, or IB, which is International Baccalaureate programs. And through these programs, you can take a regular high school level class, but you're prepped throughout the whole year to take either the AP exam or the IB exam. And if you get a pretty good score on it, I know at least for the APs, because I did a lot of that, you can get credit for it in college.
And usually like 3 is passing, and then 4 and 5 is like really great.
Yeah.
But a lot of schools, especially like if you're going to a higher end school, they usually want a 4 or 5. So usually try to aim for those.
Yeah.
I know like when I was in high school, I didn't really think about that. I just kept on thinking about the fact that like I wanted my GPA to be high. But really try to pass it, because that can help you in the long run. And having a high GPA in high school will help you get into college, but it's not going to do much for you after that.
Exactly.
So you might as well aim for the highest.
And on top of that, I mean, with the AP classes too, like a lot, at least from my high school, I was very privileged to go to like a great high school. So a lot of these AP classes, first of all, we had weighted GPAs. So APs were counted the same way as honors, and you could get like a GPA out of 5 instead of out of 4. So even if you got a B in an AP class, it's still the same as getting an A in a regular class. It gives you a little bit of leeway with it. Looks really great on college applications. And on top of that, if you do really well in it, you can get college credit. Which, for me, so when you're in college, for us, the number of credit hours technically for like a college degree is 120. And at least at FAU, you can transfer up to, I believe it's 50 credits worth of classes from like dual enrollment, which we'll get into a little bit later, but also from AP and IB credits. So I came in with, I think it was a total of 52. I had to cut out one of the classes because they didn't like take the credit for it anyways, but 49 out of my 120 credits that I need for my degree are from AP. So I basically came in as a sophomore already.
Same with
which
me.
Saves a lot of time and even more than that, a lot of money too.
Oh yeah, true.
Then AP classes are the way to go. I've gotten out of history classes,
art history,
English, all that stuff. Like
that stuff just distracts you from like your ultimate goal.
Exactly, because I mean, you know, some of those classes might be easy, but there's definitely a lot of those classes that are like unnecessarily hard, and especially for somebody
more intense in college. Yeah,
exactly. And for somebody who's not going into that field of study, it just doesn't make any sense at all.
It's unrealistic. What about the clip?
Yeah, so if you're in college, actually, there's a very similar, not many people know this, I only know this because of my AP physics teacher actually in high school. He told us about it, yeah. Man had a lot of great like life hacks out of college, but he told us about these CLEP exams, C-L-E-P. It's basically the exact same concept as an AP exam. The only thing is you don't have to take the class to go with it.
Exactly.
And even for APs, if there's a subject that you can self-study for, you can self-study for AP.
Yeah.
You just have to register for the class on your own, or the test on your own, my bad. But yeah, CLEPs are the exact same way. So basically you can go out and get like a little prep book for like, I'm sure like $20 or something like that. You can self-study. So I've had friends do it for Spanish, some for like history or psychology, something like that. And they're usually like the intro, like 1,000 or 2,000 level classes. So if it's like a general psychology or general biology or something like that, like you can take the test, and if you get a good enough score on it, then you can get the credit for it and skip through the class. And that actually really works well with like, if you're, say for example, you get through high school, you took the AP biology exam, but you didn't do too well on it. You didn't make the score for it. You can study over that. It sucks to say, but like the summer after your senior year, like yeah, obviously
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. And if you want to graduate early, you can always study during that summer. And take the CLEP exam. I'm sure there's one for biology. And that way you don't have to sit there and take biology again in college.
Yeah, when you already knew like 90% of the information.
Yeah,
you know?
And you can get a head start on your upper level classes too. So you can jump straight into genetics from biology, which I know a lot of people didn't really realize. Like I didn't realize it until I got to college. And
you can do
thankfully, you know, if you talk to some of your professors, they'll let you into the class.
True.
So long as you're keeping up a certain grade or something like that. Like just want to go the easy route and get a head start on all your upper level classes, then the CLEP exam is like...
I like that. See, I didn't know anything about that, but I probably also, knowing me and where I was mentally freshman year, probably still wouldn't have taken that test, because you know life is like that. But we're telling you now, so I don't want to hear any excuses. Y'all better get ready. But so we're gonna kind of move on to like...
Hold on, there's one more thing. One more thing. So for all you high schoolers out there, if you can take an honors level class, even if your school maybe doesn't have an AP or an IB program or an AP level class for like art or something like, you know, like something like that, or if you can't afford to take the AP exam, take an honors level class. It still, in some schools, it still gives you a little bit of a boost for your GPA. And not only that, it also prepares you really, really well for college. So that's a fact. All right. So we're gonna move into tips for students who are already in college or like just about to start college. So first and foremost, if you kind of have an idea as to like what you want to study and all that going into college, definitely like look at the requirements and stuff for your major ahead of time. Well, first of all, pick a major, because you can be, biology and biochemistry are two very different majors. Even though they sound very similar, we've both learned that, especially I'm a biochemistry major and
I'm a biology major.
Exactly.
And also, just so you know, like the major you put in when you're applying to college, you don't have to stick to that.
Exactly.
So
you can always change it if you...
Yeah. Don't feel like, oh, I have to keep this major because that's what I applied with. Change it. It's not set in stone anywhere. Don't worry.
A lot of people that I know started out as biology majors and then eventually realized, hey, I need to take the MCAT. The biochemistry is going to be a lot more helpful for me. It's just a matter of different electives and things like that. So always pick something that you're going to be comfortable with too, because you have to remember, you know, if you're going into grad school, that's one thing, but if you're going into, like, say for example, engineering or computer science, you don't necessarily have to go to grad school. In situations like those, the major that you pick in college is going to be the one that you're kind of stuck with to your name. And it sounds scary, but it's true.
to that.
No, it's true. It's because it's for the rest of your life. Like,
yeah, it is. But also, like, another thing is, don't feel pressure to get it right. Like, say, like, maybe that summer you picked something, but you're not really sure about it, and, like, going in, you're still really unsure. Try to take your gen ed courses first, like your chemistry, Chem 1, Bio 1.
If you don't take your AP exams in high school, then, like, your English classes and history and all that, like, get those out of the way, because no matter what major you are, you're going to have to do those classes anyways. So get those out of the way, and make sure you just kind of, when you're going into college, no matter whether you know your major or not, no matter what your major is, know kind of like a plan of what you're going to do for however long you're going to be there. I went onto FAU's website, and a lot of times if you just Google your university's name and like, oh, like this major, or for us it's called concentration, so I Googled concentration in biochemistry. They come up with a whole list of all the courses and stuff that you need to take.
The number, all that.
Yeah. So you know, all of this stuff is like public record. You might not be able to see the classes they're offering for a semester, and they usually don't have that schedule up until a couple weeks before registration starts anyways. But even if you just kind of look at all your requirements, like, so I understood, you know, I have to take all these electives, and these are the classes that I do have credit for. These are the classes that I don't have credit for.
Hypothetically make a framework in your head, like,
you can come up with like a rough 3-year plan, or even if you're graduating on time for that matter, a 4-year plan. Like, you can understand, like, hey, like this is kind of where I'm looking at. Like, if you're doing your thesis on like hardcore science, some people do it on their research. You can plan it out to where you take like certain neuroscience classes or something like that before you do your thesis. So that's stuff that you can apply to your thesis or to research, internships, things like that. If you're not
advisor.
Exactly. And if you're not comfortable with your advisor, or if you don't think they're doing a good job, don't be afraid to switch your advisor. Go to their office, hunt them down. This is their job. As much as you don't want to bother them,
you have to
do their, like, make them do their job.
Suffering when you have to do 5 years, and nobody wants to do that. One more thing about, like, when you're doing gen ed, like those courses first, it really helps you with your GPA, because usually those classes are simple, like they're not that hard. You want to start off with a good GPA because it's easier to make your GPA go up, you know? Like, it's easier to maintain a GPA, and if it started off strong, than to try to raise a low GPA. So make sure you do well in those classes. Like, especially if you're trying to graduate in 3 years, don't treat your freshman year like your freshman year, because it's really not. Like,
the first semester of your freshman year
is all you get.
Is your freshman year. That's it. After that, that second semester of your freshman year and your second year, whatever that is, that's your combined sophomore and junior year. That's when you really got to figure things out. And your first semester of senior year is like you start to wrap things up. I'm 20 years old, like, I can live a little. I can go to med school if I want to. I can go to a different grad school program if I want to.
You find yourself definitely a lot.
Exactly. You give yourself a little bit of extra time, a little bit of wiggle room. And say, for example, you know, you're 20 years old, you get into med school. You can jump straight into that. You can get into your residency early. You can be a young practicing doctor.
That's cool.
Which gives you, not only are you still young, but you also have time to, like, go out and enjoy your life. Being comfortable with your advisor is something, it's its own skill. That's the way I look at it.
You need to learn, because you have no option but to be friends with your advisor.
Yeah, and they know a lot more than you. A lot of them have seen years of students come and go, so they've learned their own share of stuff.
And also, they can also give you exceptions in certain cases where, like, say you need 2 different credits or something, or 2 different requirements to fulfill, but they're at the same exact time, and it's your last semester before graduating, you know, but you spent all your other semesters doing courses that you seriously needed, you know, you didn't slack off and you showed that effort. They can be like, you know what, we can override one of those credits, or we can make this count as a joint, you know, double requirement, something like that.
You don't have to be best friends with your advisor, but, like, be friends with them.
Just let, they're gonna want to know your situation, everything, and so they'll know you're on top of stuff. Just showing that responsibility.
And kind of adding on to that with classes too. I noticed, so unlike a lot of people at this school, I took genetics our freshman year, and part of it was because I had AP credit, and I had taken AP bio, didn't do too hot on the exams, but I had AP credit for bio, and I had also taken a dual credit class through a community college back home for genetics. So I had some sort of a genetics background. And when I talked to the professor here, he was like, oh yeah, like, you know, go ahead, like, I'll release the hold on your account, like, you can register for that class. So don't be afraid to talk to your professors. If there's a class that you think you're ready for, go for it. Talk to them.
Let them know.
Exactly. Tell them why you think, you know, you're deserving of the spot in that class.
If you're graduating in 3 years, obviously the information will be a lot fresher in your head because, you know, it's 3 years rather than a span of 4 years. So when you're taking those exams, it's easier to like probably still have your notes, your recall, because, you know, it hasn't been that long. So I definitely do recommend like take your classes seriously, like take it like you're studying already for whatever exam you're taking. That's something I did not do. Let me not even lie to you. I am a huge crammer, and I tried taking a lot of my high school studying techniques into college. And even though I was able to finesse my way through some classes, like it hit me very well when I started studying for like, you know, the MCAT. I'm like, wow,
yeah,
I don't even remember like the simple topic because I just crammed for that. So
and even it's not even just for those tests too. Like both of us were in morphology and function, and I gotta say, I'm gonna admit it, that class was a train wreck. And it's not necessarily our fault. But I know for me, part of what I struggled with is like, I struggle with memorization in general.
Me too.
That's just something that I've always had trouble with. Take that time to figure out study techniques, figure out what works for you, and on top of it all, stay organized and keep your notes. Hold on to your notes. Because there's gonna be, for example, you're studying for the MCAT and you're on biochemistry. And if you have an amazing biochemistry professor, you'll have all those notes from like years past. You can just pull up that specific section and be like, oh, hey, like, here are the notes on, you know, the Krebs cycle. Like, this is how he explained it. That makes so much more sense than what this prep book is saying. So know like what your path requires. A lot of people, you know, will come into college being like, oh, I want to be pre-med, I want to be pre-med. They get here, they hear people like us who came in knowing, you know, we have to do research, internships, volunteering, all that stuff. They come in hearing all that and they're like, oh wait, maybe I don't want to do that. Well, first of all, if you're you know, have a good reason to like pursue what you want. Biggest question they always ask in med school, and even like for me when I was applying to the honors college program, the biggest question is like, why do you want to be a doctor?
Exactly.
For other places, it's why do you want to be a lawyer? Why do you want to be an engineer?
Have your answer
Have
ready.
A solid answer to that. So pick something that you know you're going to enjoy doing, something that 20 years, if you have to work overnight shifts to do, that you'll be happy to
rewarding. Do that. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, everyone.
Like and subscribe.
I hate my job. Why am I doing this?
I should be a YouTuber, not her.
Yeah.
Like if you think I should be a YouTuber.
Oh yeah, like for Vani. Anyway, like and subscribe. Repost this on your page if you want some friends to see the story and like get the gist of how to do this.
Share this with everybody that you know who's going through high school or college. Because maybe some people aren't thinking about it, but maybe they should. They should
be thinking about this stuff. Yeah. And if you want to see a video types of people you see in college, get this video to 100 views or 100 likes, and we will see you in the next video.
Yeah, but now we're gonna go back to eating our pizza.
I'm so full, I can't even. Mwah. Mwah. Bye.